Bienvenue chez Tim. Christmas Day is a special day of peace and goodwill, and that demands a really special menu. Join me as I make a partridge in a pear tree. Le jour de Noël est très spécial et ça demande un menu exceptionnel. Christmas is a traditional season, so I'm going to make a traditional classic game stock. That, of course, begins with bones of game. I have here some squab and some quail. I even have a little heart of something that was there. And I think there's some partridge bones in that as well. The first step is to brown it. You can do this in the oven, but I find that using cast iron actually does a little bit better. You can do that with a little bit of olive oil or some vegetable oil in there. So step one is to brown it. We'll continue in a minute. As you can see, the bones are brown. Next in are some vegetables. I have here carrots and onion. Notice I didn't even bother peeling the onion because that will actually help the color of the sauce. So you just let that go down. And we'll keep going here now until we can get this brown. You could also, at this point, add what other vegetables you want, but those two are the basic ones. So in about 10 minutes, I've even gotten the vegetables browned here. You can see that there. And so now the next step is to deglaze this, and with that, we need a little bit of white wine. And of course, you want to scrape the bottom to get all the wonderful brown juices. Next, you tip that into a saucepan. Then we put in some water to cover the bones. And for the moment, that's all. We're going to bring it to the simmer, and then I'll show you what you do next. We're at the point we need to do scum removal. As this begins to boil, you can see that all of these, well, it's really just protein that's come to the top. But you do want to get it out because otherwise you won't have a clear stock. Now, some people argue that you're also taking flavor out, which is correct. But in the end, when you reduce all this down, it won't really much matter anyhow. Now, if you were making, say, a chicken soup or something, I'd say just leave it in. But as we're going to do a demi-glace with this, get it out. The scum is removed, and now it's time to season this. I'm going to put in some black peppercorns, and since this is a game stock, we'll put in some juniper berries as well. And it needs thyme, and it needs parsley, and I have here a little bit of leek. That was the green part of the leek that I had in the freezer left over from something. So I put that in there, and also some leftover canned tomatoes. You could use tomato paste if you wanted. Now, this just now needs to be put at a very low bubble, barely just simmering, for an hour or two, and then we can reduce it. I've reduced our stock and put it through a strainer, and now it will be the foundation for the partridge sauce. To this, I'm going to add some honey, a pinch of Chinese 5-spice powder. I added a few Danjou pears that I cut into little rounds. Next is some pear brandy. And let's just take that down a little bit more. That's looking good now. So we'll just add a knob of butter to finish it, swirling that in, and then put it aside and either keep it warm or put it aside and let it re-warm when you get ready to plate your partridge. This is a partridge breast, boneless but with skin on. Now, partridge is a gamey kind of thing and not everybody likes it, so you could substitute a game hen and it won't hurt anything. I'm going to put some truffle butter on it. Maybe we'll just put that inside. Sprinkle it with fleur de sel. I'm also going to dribble it with some black truffle oil. This now goes into a freezer bag. And we're going to do the immersion technique again of pushing this down and bringing it to the water's edge and then zip-locking it. And we'll cook that sous vide like that at 65.6 degrees centigrade. I would say a good 45 minutes. Here I have some smashed parsnips that I cooked earlier, and to that we're going to begin to plate our partridge. Now, to make a little tree, I have some dehydrated parsnip, dehydrated pears that I have painted. Now, there's a little tree of, a little pear tree, I should say. And here is our partridge, which I browned. It was, you remember, we cooked it sous vide and then I just browned it a little bit. So the sauce now goes on, and what we need here is these pears that I have previously poached in this stock. And we'll put this lovely pear sauce that we've worked so hard on right around in there. Now you need to have a hot paper towel somewhere that's wet so you can remove all this kind of stuff. I'll do that when you're not watching. But let's see, to finish it, it needs maybe just a little bit of fresh green. So there's some parsley pieces, and maybe also, what would be nice, are just a few cranberries for the color mostly. And there you have it, my partridge in a pear tree.